all this stuff comes from like looking somewhere else, and it leads to that, and then it leads to that.
Yeah.
Child sex. You look at if you start studying the CIA, you'll start learning about child sex trafficking. If you start studying the Federal Reserve, you'll start learning about the big pharma fraud that started the same year. And
yeah, it never ends.
And the corporate foundations, and yeah, exactly.
But you know what? It's so much more interesting. You know, a lot of people too always, you know, I don't know if you get the question, you probably do. A lot of people always like, oh, you know, they make it like, well, that's just something you're into. I'm not really into
something you're into.
You know, politics. They make it like
it's
or
politics.
something like
Yeah,
that.
a lot of people are.
But you know what? It's so much
not
more.
into politics.
It's so much more interesting for
It's
me
more than politics.
to uncover truths and history and find out these things. You know, where we keep saying it doesn't end, but it doesn't. You know, I don't. Why would you want it to end? Like you should want to just keep learning more and more till the day you die. You should be constantly trying to learn more. So, you know, I don't look at it as anymore that it's an overwhelming thing. It's more like, a routine, you know. You constantly want to get smarter, or at least I do. You know, you want to better your person, better who you are. So that's one way. And you know, you don't run out of it. Just like we don't ever run out of things to talk about.
Yeah, we could literally probably sit here and talk forever.
Because there's so much.
Yeah,
and it's so much better than what's on television. So stop for the holidays. Look at your family and your kids, not the television. You know.
Not the football games and the
who cares? Basketball starting Christmas Day. You know. Sit by the tree and talk to your family about real things. Talk about what you want to do in next year. You know. Plans.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a lot of plans. I mean. I'd like to see some people that start to wake up and see that, that their New Year's resolution should be to not be complacent, because I think complacency is going to be the key to this enslaving.
Yeah, that's their main operating thing. Is,
you know
like these movies, they operate as long as you're asleep. You know, like the movie They Live, the famous movie.
That's right.
You know, it's as long as most people are asleep. They could go around and be in the woods and rape kids, sell drugs, put their symbol in your face 24/7, and you don't care, you know, as long as, like you're saying.
I mean, it happens so much. Like you hear so many times. Like now, there's some cops here in Connecticut that have been caught recently, and the guy was caught molesting children. Yeah, and so again, it's like they literally they I don't know how else to put it. Through their tests, they have these type of entrance tests, these psychological tests, and this has again come out through other research, like through 29 Palms and other for the Marines, where they are literally looking for people that the hiring people that fit a certain psychological profile.
Mind control victim.
Well, more or less people that are you know, would be willing or would be of that caliber to be a pedophile, to clamp down on someone, to like the feeling of power. Whereas you would think they should be excluded.
Yeah.
These test results include them, and then they file them through into the police system. So you have a good cop like the one that's suing. In New Haven, they denied him the job. He lost his job. He didn't even get the job. He had the highest test on the highest mark on the test. He was in peak physical condition, no flaws anywhere, peak mental condition, everything. All right, top shot in his class, #1.
The ideal person, you would think.
The ideal person to be an officer, right? Judgment, everything else. No, they don't. They want good thugs, exactly. Like Rockefeller said, they want workers, you know. They actually want thugs is a good,
yeah.
It's really...
And study where the word thug comes from.
Yeah.
Created by the British.
Yeah.
The word thuggy, that's where it comes from, is thuggy.
Yeah.
This British operation. Again, drug dealing and this and that.
It's bad. Well, come on, we all know how the whole opium trade has been controlled by these same people that are in that reason why we're in Afghanistan, and to this day, moving around, trying to monopolize all the operations, using the military as their collector, their power force, and then you have this soldiers guarding poppy plants. You know, oh, just shut up already! Shut up already! Everyone says that doesn't want to listen. Shut up already!
Yeah, you don't support.
Shut
the
up
troops,
already!
though.
Oh, you don't support the troops. You're not an American. What do you want? You're, leave me alone. Well, okay. Prole. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You know, if you don't want to look at this information, I guess you don't want to look at humanity. You'd rather look at it.
Put your head in the sand.
No, you actually. What it really comes down to, I think, without trying to beat up our listeners that might not be aware or awake, you either want to live in reality or be part of their reality. That's the best thing I can say, because their reality, believe me, is not reality.
No.
It is not the way it is.
It makes you think.
It makes you right
that you're happy, but you're not. That's what so many things too. A lot of religious stuff gets into, and I mean, if you want to go like Muslim, where they talk about the Dajjal and all this, or the Antichrist. I mean, it's the illusion. They make you think you're happy. You know, you got all this, cell phones and this and that, and they make you, but iPods. Yeah, but deep down, everybody's missing what life really is about, and I think that's why so many people are depressed, is because they know there's something more. They're not happy, but they're being brainwashed to think they're happy in their enslavement. Yeah, and then they're wondering what's wrong. What's the root of my problem? Why I'm unhappy and depressed? Very good point. You raised some really good points there. In fact, thinking about that, the mind control of it is all, that's exactly it. The Rockefellers, they really founded the big pharma fraud here as an investment business, not to get you well, and with all the stuff that we know about with the fluoride in the water and the GMO foods and the vaccines, all of these things are collecting in your body. These are all toxins. These are all neurotoxins in many cases, and they're affecting the way you think. They're infecting the way you rationalize things. Now you add on to that some drug abuse or some alcohol abuse. You add on to that depression caused in links to a lot of this. Then they give you drugs that make you a further zombie. Okay. Then they have side effects that give you need other drugs because you have now another disease. This is what they do, and they continue to do this to the population. And that's just the physical. And that's just the physical. Then you got even the mental. Well, that was great. Go ahead. Well, no, I mean, what you're saying is that's all the stuff, the physical, and it's not even that. Then they go right to the mind control, the mental, of indoctrinating. I'm going to say this. I mean, the people, I don't care if people don't like it, but your daughters are being brainwashed to be whores. Sluts, yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. That's what they want. They want to break up the family. Going back to the rocks. Listen, you hit it right on the head. Women's Lib, funded by the Rockefellers, on record. The Rockefeller Foundation funded Gloria Steinem's whole thing, her whole movement, the whole MS Magazine, that whole thing, to get the women out there, to make the divorce rate zoom to the roof like it is, and they did. And not raise their kids. And not raise their kids properly, and have the state, and then this whole idea of breaking down the family, then their kids, that those children, this is how evil they are. They know that these kids are going to have fucked up kids. Their kids are going to be fucked up. They're going to learn all the lies and be brainwashed. Exactly. And they're going to be brainwashed into the same system, and they'll use the television. The kids will be, the parents are working too hard because they're depleting the dollar, decreasing the value of the dollar while they destroy the currency, even in the 70s. And now, where a family at that point was the breaking point where you really start to need two incomes to make it work. So then a lot of families started to do that, and then the independence aspect of it, and it's good to get you out there in the workforce so they can tax another part of the workforce. It's true. And that they can now when they're working, the mother's not home, okay? So she's either going to have a sitter or someone else watching the kid, or the television becomes the mother. Totally what they planned. Yeah. Totally what they planned. Yeah. So it's control, everything, physical, mental, and that's why everybody's so unhappy and don't know anything. everybody thinks they're, oh, well, I got nice shoes, nice phone, bed to sleep in, everything's perfect, but it's really not.
Yeah, things are not as they appear to be, especially when you have like the continuity of government plans prepare total takeover of society, dispatching military domestically under economic emergency collapse. New FEMA documents confirm information received from the Department of Defense that show military involvement in a FEMA-led takeover within the United States under partially classified continuity of government plans. It involves not only operations for the relocation of personnel, key officials, and population management, emergency communications and alerts, but the designations of the American people as enemies under a live military tracking system known as Blue Force situational awareness. Now they did this in Iraq and Afghanistan to find the enemies.
Because they're Blue Force and we're red.
We're red. We're red. We're the red. We're the
enemy.
We're the enemy. Okay, this blue-red thing. All right, so now they're gonna, if you're part of the Borg, you're part of the system. Okay, then you'll be having this literal tag, a tracking system known as Blue Force's situational awareness. It's a tracking system that you'll be part of, so you'll be okay. They'll wave their wand on you, and it'll say he's good. I could just see it now. They'll be like people will be like, oh my God, how are they going to give this? What's this thing going to be? Is it going to be a microchip? I don't know.
ID chip.
It's going to be something, but that's fucking frightening. So they're going to have this. This is confirmed. So if everybody's ever seen The Matrix, so take the red pill and wake up, go down the rabbit hole.